Heroes Dive students, Dr. Adam here, and this is your Module 7 and 8 review. This is the last review video that you will have for this course, and this will cover the last two, well, 7 and 8, not the last module, which is Module 9. Well, 7 and 8 are the last modules that you'll be tested on. So Module 9 is on breaking into the commercial industry, and it does not have any required material on it for the final exam. You will also note that in Module 8, you have the opportunity to start taking the final exam. The final exam is a 100-question exam. It is self-paced. You do have to complete it all in one session, but you can take it as many times as you like, and you can take as long as you like on it. It is also an open book exam. You have until December 31st at 11:59 p.m. to complete this exam, and there will be no extensions. So you have the next 2.5 months to do this. So I would encourage you to take the exam as quickly as possible. Once you complete the exam, about 4 weeks after you complete the exam, you will get a certificate of completion emailed to your email address that you provided us. Make sure that when you complete the exam, that all the information that you enter is correct, meaning your name, how you want your name spelled. There is a line that asks you how exactly you want your name on your certificate. Make sure you verify that that is all correct before you submit that exam. That will save us a lot of time on the back end, having to reissue certificates that had incorrect information on them. So please make sure that you're entering that information correctly. So what I'm going to be covering today is Module 7 and 8 questions that are relevant to the exam. And so let's go through those exam questions now. So what are the questions you need to know for Module 7 and 8? Well, the first one is you need to be aware of what are the main drivers of overwintering losses for honeybees in the modern era. You also need to know how often you should be checking and managing for varroa mites. You need to know what honey provides bees that allow them to thermoregulate. So what is it that actually allows them to create heat as a food source from honey? So what is honey providing for those bees to create heat? We want to know the 3 ways that bees heat during the winter, so how they're thermoregulating. We want to know the 2 parts of an overwintering cluster. So what are those 2 parts and what are they called? We need to know what happens when bees respire after consuming honey. You also want to know what does it mean to consolidate resources in a colony as you prepare for winter. So I talk about this in several of the overwintering and preparing for overwintering lectures, is what it means to consolidate resources. You need to know what is the most common miticide that we use in low and no brood conditions at the end of the season. And this is a specific compound that you should be aware of. We want to know what are the moisture wicking devices that we recommend in the lectures as far as going through winter. You want to know what all the pieces of equipment are that I recommend for adding to your colony for overwintering success. You want to know how much water is produced through respiration by a colony that consumes about 100 pounds of honey. So how much water would that produce? You want to know what you do with dead outs when you find them. Do you just leave them? Do you take care of them? What do you do with the dead out when you find it during or after winter? And the last question that you're going to want to know is what are wax moths targeting in stored frames? So what is it they're actually going after in a stored frame? Those are all the questions that you're going to need to know. So I would recommend that if you are looking to take the final exam and complete that exam, that you go through these review videos, because I talk about all the questions that are going to be given to you in the exam in these review videos. If you review what I have given you in these review sessions here, you will have no problem passing the exam. So just focus on what I've talked about in these review videos. Make sure that you've watched all the required lectures. You've looked at the handouts that are required. You've gone through the instructional videos that are required, and you should have no problem passing this exam. Now, when you take the exam, it is automatically graded. You will get a grade right after you submit the exam. It'll pop up on the same screen. Take a look at that. Now, it'll also have all of your answers that you made on all of those questions listed. Now, one thing it will not do, it will not give you the correct answers. It will tell you how many you missed, on that 100-question exam, but it's not going to tell you which ones you missed. That is your responsibility to go back through those questions and identify the questions that you struggled on. The reason we don't give you the correct examination question is because there's thousands of you that are taking this exam together, and we can't just give the answers out and when somebody enters their first try at an exam, because then that could spread to everybody. So you will not get the correct answers given to you when you complete the exam, but it will tell you how many you missed. You will have the full printout of the exam available to you when you submit that question. You can also print a PDF of that. There's a link on that page once you submit. Look through that very carefully, go through that. If you pass the exam, that will come to me and I will issue a certificate in about 4 weeks to you that will be emailed to you directly. And that is your certificate that proves that you've completed the Heroes to Hives course. Now, once you complete the course, that's when we can transfer your credits over to the Great Plains Master Beekeeping course. There will be a video in Module 9 that will discuss that in detail of what that looks like. But that transfer does not happen until next year. It's not an automatic thing. We wait till all of the exams are done for the year, meaning that it will be, you have until December 31st at the end of the day to complete these exams. So it will not be until the beginning of next year that we will start transferring your credits over. So please be patient with that. Just remember, we've got over 4,100 students that have the potential to take this exam. We want to make sure everybody gets through those so that we can get everybody transferred at one time into GPMB. So that's what you can expect there. Other than that, you'll have, like I said, you'll have a video in Module 9 that'll talk more about the GPMB program and transferring credits and all of that good stuff. That'll be covered in Module 9. But this is all you need right here to complete your final exam at this point. Final exam is open from October 15th all the way through December 31st, and then it will be closed. So get those exams taken. Hope you enjoy taking that exam. It's not meant to be exceptionally hard, but it is meant to test the knowledge outcomes for this course to make sure that you have met the knowledge outcomes. And if you did the work, if you went through the modules that were required and you watched the instructional videos, or excuse me, the review videos, you should have no problem passing this exam. All right. Thank you all. Have a great rest of your day.